Bye. Stop fighting this fucking guy. He's a fucking
but I respect it though because
I'm just gonna fucking die, bro.
I know. Hold on, this is the first time I've ever heard you say this.
I know my boundaries.
Jake Paul is reportedly feeling the pressure as Anthony Joshua showcases terrifying training sessions ahead of his next fight. The YouTuber turned boxer appears uneasy watching AJ's raw power and ruthless preparation, with whispers of a potential showdown between the two now igniting full-blown speculation.
Paul's manager here last week, and he's open to the fight. Any developments on that?
Lots. I mean, you know, this bizarre world that we live in, I think Jake Paul is absolutely the front runner to fight Anthony Joshua next. I'm here in New York for meetings about that fight. There's an open dialogue between myself and Nikisa, an MVP. I don't know what to tell you, Bridgie, other than it's mental. I mean, I can't sit here and tell you this is a 50-50 matchup. The whole thing is bizarre. I think it's extremely dangerous for Jake Paul. You know, I've got the general feedback is the boxing world saying, please, AJ, go in and evaporate this young man from the boxing world so we can all get on as normal. You've got Jake Paul fans thinking bizarrely they can beat Anthony Joshua. And the most bizarre thing out of everything is that Jake Paul genuinely believes he will beat Anthony Joshua.
In a surprising twist, Jake Paul genuinely believes he can defeat Anthony Joshua. A Notion promoter Eddie Hearn has called a massive frontrunner, while confirming that serious talks are underway for a potential clash in early 2026. Joshua, seasoned heavyweight champion, continues to showcase his dedication to excellence with a rigorous training regimen that includes intense strength and conditioning, sparring with top-tier opponents, and a relentless focus on both physical and mental preparation.
Where's AJ for you right now?
I think he's an icon.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever met AJ, I would be starstruck. I remember being in New York City, my cousin's stag do, which would have been 2017, and he beat Klitschko.
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, the bar erupted. It was amazing. Right, that was
Peak AJ.
History will be kind to AJ, I think, in terms of where he ranks.
History will be kind if he doesn't lose a couple more big ones. Because I know everyone just got microwave memories where they just remember now.
Like, he's nowhere near to say Lennox Lewis, is he? No. But in terms of what he carried, nobody can sell an arena.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's
like, he's up there with like stars of other, like, sports. He can be compared to Oasis for selling tickets.
Yeah, he'll fill a stadium.
Yeah, well, like,
there was a time when I thought he could fight me in for the stadium.
This is what I was just about to say, that irrespective of the opposition.
Doesn't matter.
Like, irrespective. And he'd never, Daniel Dubois will never ever have that presence that AJ had.
Joshua has repeatedly proven his commitment to taking on elite opponents, most notably facing Alexander Usyk, a former undisputed cruiserweight champion and a dominant presence in the heavyweight division. Their first meeting, held in September 2021 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, ended with Usyk securing a unanimous decision victory, outclassing Joshua through superior technique and precision.
The belts were finally out of my possession, which I was expecting to win. It just kind of tore me apart, and that's raw emotion live on your screen. Obviously, looking back, could I have dealt with things better? Yeah, of course, but at the time that wasn't the priority. It was just outpour of emotion.
There are so many athletes we're seeing across gymnastics, cricket, rugby and football that have taken time out of their sport to deal with their mental health before coming back in. Did you at any point in that period think, I need to take an extended break away from boxing before coming back in?
It wasn't the fact I needed to take a break. You know what it was? I actually watched a lot of like fighters, they've taken time out of the game for those reasons as well. And I think, okay, if they've done it, I should be doing it. But I got to look at myself as an individual. And what it is, I feel like if I take time out, I'm letting everyone catch up. And I want to be ahead of the game.
While Paul has demonstrated impressive athleticism and a solid work ethic, his ring experience falls far short of seasoned professionals like Joshua. His training, though intense, has largely centered on building endurance and honing fundamental boxing skills.
Consider Jake Paul a fighter?
No.
Still not?
Wow, really? We're also like punch each other and like elbow, like he was on the ground and I was like kneeing him in the face.
So you get fighting your sibling to a whole nother level.
Training wrestling is so hard.
Yeah.
Dana has always been close to my family because of my dad. And then he's like texting Daniel Cormier and like, hey, like Bellamere needs to go to college, where should you go? I was literally cage side sitting next to Dana. The arena, like I literally like get goosebumps sometimes like thinking of it. I've never heard an arena so loud. Like my last fight, I broke the girl's arm in the first round, like minute something. Complete snap, like ripped every ligament in her elbow.
I want professional boxers. It's only been 3.5 years. You can only make a certain amount of fights happen. And the plan was always to fight Nate Diaz after Tommy Fury, win, lose, or draw. People think there's like this ducking of professional boxers. The next fight could potentially be a professional boxer. I'm just getting started. I'm 26 years old, and there's only so much I can do.
Boxing analysts and experts have strongly criticized the proposed matchup between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, calling it a dangerous and lopsided contest. Prominent voices, including Eddie Hearn, have warned that the fight would put Paul at serious risk due to the massive gap in skill and experience. Hearn stressed that Joshua's world-class punching power and seasoned, professional pedigree make him an exceptionally dangerous opponent, one that could pose severe consequences for Paul.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh, well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him, and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world, make the fight.
Let's talk about AJ ever so quickly. I watched Jake Paul the weekend. I feel a bit dirty saying that because I'm not a fan of his, but he did say after the fight that he's sort of having DMs or he's dropping text messages to AJ. They're having a chat about a potential fight. What's your view on that, Eddie?
Well, look, he's calling out Gervonta Davis, who is a 135-pound lightweight, and he's calling out Anthony Joshua, that's a heavyweight monster. I think Jake Paul is crazy enough to fight Anthony Joshua because the money would be absolutely obscene. It's a catastrophic mismatch that people would tune in to watch because it would lead to the end of Jake Paul. Hopefully not literally, but it's that dangerous that, you know, it's a fight that I don't think should really happen, if I'm honest. I would say about Jake Paul, and I've said this in a couple of interviews today, I do think you start after giving him a margin of respect. You know, I think this guy is going through the motions, he's putting the hard spars in, he just went 10 rounds with, yes, a washed up fighter, but a former world champion that did train for that fight, but they're very clever in terms of the opponents that they pick. They're not going to gamble unless the money's out of control. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jake Paul, wanted to move forward with an Anthony Joshua fight. Honestly, AJ's coming tonight. He's not exactly looking at Jake Paul going, oh, that's my dream opponent. No. Would he go in there and give him a hiding for, you know, a massive chunk of money? Probably. I'd be saying, yeah, go on. I'd like.
The hype surrounding a potential Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul showdown has sparked outrage among boxing pundits, who have slammed the idea as reckless, foolish, and dangerously extreme. Critics argue that the vast gulf in skill, experience, and power makes the matchup not only ill-advised but borderline irresponsible. While the commercial appeal is clear, the looming risks to Paul's safety and the sport's credibility make this feel less like a legitimate contest and more like a high-stakes gamble for thrills.
Well, I've got you, Billy. There's talks, obviously you're from a traditional side of boxing, there's talks of maybe an Anthony Joshua Jake Paul matchup. What do you make of that?
Joke. It's just money in it. It's just for money. Because he'll get absolutely pulverised by Big Joshua. Pulverised.
Tony Bellew, never one to hold back, blasted the idea of an Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, branding it absolutely, dangerously insane. He raised serious concerns over the stark mismatch in size and experience, warning that the bout would be more spectacle than genuine competition. Bellew went on to suggest that a far more credible and safer option for Joshua would be a clash with Canelo Alvarez, making it clear he's uncomfortable with even considering Paul as a legitimate opponent.
It's another level. This is a really dangerous. He ain't fighting a granddad. He isn't fighting a grandfather. It's absolute lunacy. It's insane. It's dangerously insane. Is right. And I never thought I'd say that in my lifetime, but because he says some crazy shit. But he probably could knock him out with his bell end. It's just a gross mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand his health is in jeopardy. So, I'm not even entertaining it. I just think it's dangerous. And listen, I might have to work it, but it's
It's kind of ludicrous, isn't it? Really,
it's insane. This boy is nuts. Is nuts, and I think he's putting his life before he's putting his life before money.
Yeah, it's
putting money before his life, which is just absolutely.
Tony Bellew admitted he never thought he'd agree with certain critics, but in this case, he is saying Anthony Joshua could likely knock Jake Paul out with ease. He called the matchup a gross mismatch, warning that Paul's health would be in serious jeopardy and insisting he wouldn't even entertain the idea. Bellew described it as ludicrous and insane. Accusing Paul of putting money ahead of his own safety, Bellew has long criticized Paul's celebrity-driven approach to boxing, warning that such antics could end in disaster. He stressed that boxing is a dangerous sport, not a stage for entertainment gimmicks, and expressed concern that the rise of celebrity and YouTuber bouts risks damaging the sport's reputation, especially if tragedy strikes.